Why is it that some people think that a workout has to last over 40 minutes or an hour and sometimes an hour and a half for it to be successful? Why is it that some people are picking the wrong types of exercises if they really want to see improvements in strength and in muscle? If you're a natural, healthy muscle trainer, then listen on, because I'm going to reveal to you the optimum workout formula if you're a natural lifter. How you can progress on your strength and your muscle growth, because it's probably not what you think. Hey everybody, it's Jason Davis here at Bodybuilding Mastered. Today I really want to reveal to you the natural muscle training formula. This is about understanding what us natural trainers need to consider when we're building and formulating our training program. Every time we carry out a workout, what's optimum for us? This video is not about enhanced trainers, people that take steroids or use other artificial or foreign substances to aid their muscle growth, because ultimately that's going to be really unhealthy in the long term. So I want to cover some of the really basic pieces, but in this video there's 5 components that you need to know that fit into the formula. So if you're an enhanced trainer and you take substances to support your muscle growth, you're going to have some obvious advantages. I think the first one is the fact that you're going to have increased muscle growth because of the extra testosterone that you're producing beyond the natural limit. The next part is the fact that you're going to have increased oxygen capacity and oxygen circulation to the muscles, meaning more nutrients and more endurance and volume that you can take during your workout. The third one is the fact, and it's a big one, is the fact you can have very reduced recovery time. That means you can just recover easier. And remember, recovery is what's actually builds the muscle in the first place. So they're not like normal natural people. They can recover a lot faster. The final one is that they have a very increased metabolic rate. They can actually oxidize fat a lot quicker. That's why you see sometimes shredded people with really huge muscles as if they've got very little body fat. It's completely unnatural and it's very unhealthy, and we'll touch on why. At the end of the day, at Bodybuilding Mastered, we talk about the journey and the value of muscle. The whole process of getting stronger and leaner and fitter is what's enjoyable. It's that long process. If you're too worried about the end result, in which in most cases enhanced drug users are, then I think you're really missing the whole point of this journey. And I don't care who or what type of substance you're taking and how controlled you have it, the fact is it's foreign. It's a foreign substance going in your body. It's going to have long-lasting effects on your heart. It's going to have issues and put stress on your organs. It's going to cause all sorts of issues hormonally and psychologically, and so it's just not worth it. The fact is you want to keep really healthy, but don't let those points that I told you in terms of the advantages that steroids takers have, because you can just optimize your training a little bit more, which I'm revealing in this video about changing it about a bit, making sure that every workout includes certain aspects, and you will, even as a natural, it might take a bit longer, you will build some really impressive muscles and really impressive strength and a good physique, and that journey will continue year after year. So before we get to the 5 core components of the natural workout formula that's really going to boost your performance, let's just talk about some of the principles. The first one is the fact that we're not going to be concentrating as a natural lifter on volume. Yes, believe it or not volume. Everybody seems to think that the longer I work out at home or in the gym, it's going to mean that I'm going to get better performance, I'm going to get stronger, I'm going to get faster, I'm going to get bigger. It's just not true. As a natural lifter, if you carry on with very high, long workouts, you're just going to release what they call cortisol, which is a stress hormone. Enhanced lifters don't need to worry about that, because they inhibit, through the steroids they inhibit cortisol. As a healthy lifter, you need to worry about cortisol. It's a stress hormone. And if your workouts last too long, your cortisol levels are going to go up, and that's going to inhibit protein synthesis, which is what you need to build and recover. The next important part for a natural lifter is intensity. That's key. Now, I'm not saying intensity is not important generally, but intensity is really even more important for a natural lifter because, as I said, you don't want a high volume. You want a short period, and therefore you want to be as intense as possible. Intensity is usually defined as the rate of perceived exertion. So in essence, it can be defined in many ways. It could be the weight you're using or just how hard you're pushing yourself during that set. So number 1 component of the Bodybuilding Mastered formula is compound strength. So what does that mean? In essence, what it means, as I said before, is you start your exercise. Okay, let's say you're doing 4 exercises in your workout. Your first exercise should definitely always be a compound exercise, so one that's multi-joint, things like the squat or the bench press, depends what your training, of course, or the overhead press, the deadlift, exercises like that that's multi-joint. And make sure that you're focusing your first workout on strength. So your repetitions should be somewhere between 5 to 7 reps. That's right, you don't need to have 12 plus reps. That's not going to be concentrating on strength. Strength plays a part in your overall development. Even if you're not wanting to build strength, it's also part in building muscle growth. Strength plays a part in that. So you're strongest at the beginning of your workout. Start off with that exercise. By focusing on your strength first, you're going to improve your muscle density. That's a little bit different from other types of muscle growth. And that's key for a natural builder. So, component 2, your second workout. Maybe this is 4 sets again. This is now concentrating on hypertrophy. And that's a term for basically muscle growth, an increase in muscle cell size. That's a general term, a scientific term. So this part of the workout is hypertrophy with a plateau technique. Now I'm sure, hopefully you've seen my YouTube video on the plateau conquer, and we talk about different plateau techniques, so keep watching those series for those. But the idea of this is that you're shifting now your exercise to a rep range of around about, let's say, 7 to 12 reps. So it's not so much on strength now, you're really trying to activate the muscles, get a bit of a burn, but it's really that mid-range of strength and hypertrophy. Now this is really going to cause muscle damage. Now in terms of the weight, it should be a lot lower, not too much lower, but a little bit lower than your first exercise when we talked about strength. This is a lower weight because you're going up higher reps. So you should be able to reach to about 12 reps on your exercise here. Now at the end of your set, maybe the last part of the exercise, include a plateau technique. And there's all different ones. You can include the eccentric stimulation method, a giant set method. You could even hold it for a while to really engage a stretch. Whatever it may be, check out www.bodybuildingmaster.com if you want to find out more about different plateau techniques. But pick one at the end of that session, and that will be a fantastic ending to that particular workout. So what's exercise number 3? Actually, it's pretty similar to number 2. Except you pick obviously a different muscle group and you're picking a different plateau technique. Okay guys, what's the final exercise of your 4 exercises within your workout? And for the optimum for natural lifter, it has to be what they call the isolator and shaper. So now we're moving into more endurance. So these sets should be around about 12 to 20 even, or something like 12 to 15. Obviously much lighter weight because you're going much higher reps. And this is about isolating a certain muscle group. So ultimately it's going to do a few things by carrying out this endurance type exercise. First of all, it's actually going to cause blood to rush into the muscles and give important nutrients for any damage that you've caused in the earlier workouts, especially the strength training, which is a great way to finish. Secondly, it's going to cause, as I said, that blood rushing eventually is going to cause the cell membranes of the muscles to bulge and eventually also cause hypoxia. So there'll be a lack of oxygen in the muscles. This causes the build-up of other substances in the muscles, which ultimately causes molecular stress, and that is the process for also building muscle. Molecular stress and that burning sensation that you feel is another process. So please don't think working out with light weights is going to have no benefit at all. Actually, yes, it fits within the formula. You start off with strength, you move on to some hypertrophy mid-range repetitions, and you end with an isolator endurance type workout. So guys, we're not finished yet. We have one component which multiplies by all the other 4 components that I mentioned, and that is frequency, diet, and recovery. Those 3 are really key for natural lifters, and of course they're important for any lifter, particularly for natural lifters. The first part is frequency. As I said, that dominates over volume. So try and hit your muscle groups at least 2, if you can, 3 times a week. And of course, next part is recovery and diet. These are absolutely key. I'm not going to talk about the usual stuff in terms of sleep and getting the right nutrients, because that's obvious, that's really important, and I think that deserves another whole video. But it's really important to make sure you're getting the right macronutrients. As I said, protein, fat, dietary fat, and carbohydrates. You need carbohydrates to fuel your exercises, so don't be afraid of them. And of course, if you're trying to build and get to a better point, then a tiny surplus, very little surplus, 100 calories or 200 calories max, every so often or every period, just to improve and promote that muscle growth. Okay guys, thank you very much as always for watching the YouTube videos. Please subscribe if you haven't, because we're going to be always bringing out some great YouTube videos, and we're going to be touching on a lot of different subjects that hopefully we can help you with to build, strengthen and tone your body. And also don't forget to subscribe to Remastered Unlocked when you go onto the website. As I said, it's going to be zero cost for you, and we have resources in there that's going to help you. We have already about 9 resources, and we keep putting resources in there. So subscribe and you will get a free ebook on Remaster the Eccentric, which is one of the plateau techniques that I spoke about. And it's a 40-page ebook, completely free, and it will really help you to, challenge yourself on some of your workouts to build some extra muscle, wherever it may be. Thanks again, everybody. I'll speak to you soon.